our Access Research Project. I'm going to start off by talking about artists that I enjoy. So the first one is Kiana Harman. She's an Iranian artist. She addresses the issues related to cultural identity, treatment of women, censorship, surveillance, and Western perception of the Middle East. Some of her work includes Parisian calligraphy as a pattern. So this cube and the window and the shelf that you see all has writing, calligraphy writing in it. She uses lighting as a way to portray and give off this essence of this writing. And when I first saw it, I kind of thought it was some kind of lace, but looking close at it and actually paying more attention to the piece of work, I realized that it actually is writing. The use of lighting is really well done. I can see everything. I can feel like I'm engulfed in this presence of um, this culture that she is showing us. Another piece that she has is this bust that actually I thought was metal, but is not. Uh, from looking at other artists that have kind of used a metal kind of paint of some sort in their ceramic work, I kind of, got the idea that maybe that is what she's using in her work. The use of lighting and having it bounce off is very appealing to me. And to be able to make figures like this in clay is quite amazing, in my opinion. This is a quote. She says, I consider myself a conceptually based artist. In the process of creating my work, I make all my aesthetic and technical decisions based on my concept and ideas. I use different digital fabrication technologies such as laser cutters, CNC routers, 3D scanners, 3D printers in combination with more traditional methods of craft. I completely and utterly relate to using digital fabrication. I have been trying to enhance and grow my knowledge of digital fabrication because I feel like that's kind of where the world is going a little bit today. I still use the regular traditional methods of making my work, but being able to have the knowledge and use of digital fabrication is actually quite helpful in ways that if I wanted to make something bigger or extremely small, I can do without having to worry about losing detail. The other artist that I have is Renqin Yang, and I love her work with this use of color and string and connection and these many repetitive pieces that I know as an artist, an installation artist, is actually quite difficult and very strenuous when you have to make a lot of the similar thing. This sculptural piece at the bottom, when I saw it, actually had some kind of like drawn to it. It was really weird, but I very much enjoy the direction, the color, the way that I can feel like this keeps going inside. There are holes inside within holes, and it makes me kind of think that this was either some kind of rock by the ocean or was in the ocean. This same piece is actually in this other photo to the right in this installation. There are very, very many of those pieces in this, and it's like connecting through these strings. The use of color is very engaging. Red is that color that engages the viewer a lot. So this is a quote of hers. She says that my recent works reflect my experiences of migration and survival while also exploring the conflict between the individual and society. The physical and social tensions that individuals experience during periods of transition highlight human vulnerability, desire, desperation, and a lack of belonging. Anxiety shapes my clay. I create pieces that symbolize everyday emotions, worry, desire, culture, and the self. A red line shows movement from one point to another. It traces our lives as we migrate. It maps out our history and leaves behind physical as well as emotional memories. I very much agree with this whole entire quote. I have been trying to make artwork that connects people and connects things and times. so it could have that kind of connection with the viewer as well. I like that visual of having all these different strings going in different directions, but having a purpose as to why it's going in those directions. The other artist that I have is Casey Parkinson. She's a ceramic artist as well. She does sculpture and installation, and a lot of her concepts explore psychology. So some of these pieces that she has is from like dreams that she's actually had. Uh, the barnacles, I think, are very well done. I can tell automatically that they are barnacles. The concentration of where they're at and the disperseness is very well done. It's kind of reminiscent of what would actually be where a barnacle is, what it would look like. The ring of butterflies, I absolutely love. I think that her use of lighting is very well done. If you're going to use lighting in a piece of work, it should not distract from the art. It should enhance it and bring it forward and be incorporated into it. And I think she did a really great job incorporating that into there to highlight these butterflies. The other piece, I kind of put it in here because it reminded me of something that I had done with placing each, like, individually placed pawns of mine in this one space to create a bigger um, shadow of a pawn. And it just reminded me so much of my own work that I just wanted to incorporate it into there. So she says that her artwork is inspired by symbols from dreams, subconscious thoughts, and from personal states of being. Working realistically, she hand sculpts stoneware, porcelain clay sculptures such as moth barnacles and other flowers. And she also used like different glaze surfaces, so like the traditional and non-traditional surfaces such as adhesive, sand, and dirt. And she tries to reimagine that these things can be assembled as a cluster, blooming or decomposing, placed together intuitively, creating a wall-sized design. She's very much an installation artist to me. So the artist that I'm not too like fond of, his name is Del Haro. Um, Surprisingly, the one piece that I actually enjoy is this piece at the bottom that has all these planes in it and is more of like a rock formation. uh, I think is very well done. He does a lot of digital fabrication as well, which I can very much see in this piece of work. The problem that I have with him is that a lot of his works are displayed in clusters, and it makes me not appreciate the pieces that he has made. It distracts me and it makes me not really want to look at them. The other piece that he has over here to the right, I think, is too simplified and is not very engaging at all. There's no like direction all other than up, and the pieces aren't really interacting with one another, which I think could be done. The color is kind of muted and not very eye-catching, and I think some of these things can be tweaked a little just to make it that much better. So this is a quote from him, and he says, "My work is an ongoing exploration of the possibility that a tactile physical form might contain an expansive interior, a generous space, a site for the imagination and the thinking of thoughts both intimate and immense." I kind of disagree with this. I think the way that he places his work sometimes doesn't allow for my imagination and thinking of thought. It kind of clutters it and makes it very displeasing to the eye. So I just don't want to look at it anymore. But yeah, these were the three artists that I enjoyed and one artist I didn't enjoy. This was a very enjoyable project for me. I got to learn quite a bit about other artists and how they do things, and also how they are similar to me in a way. Thank you.